All right, going live. Oh, I've already gone live. Wow, that was pretty good. I guess I hit the go live button already. Hi, everyone. Mitch from sportschatplace.com and pickdogs.com. That was pretty awkward. Uh, Hope everyone is having an awesome morning. That was weird. That is a first. I feel so embarrassed. But, anyways, got UFC picks today. We got sports update with Steve Monahan and myself, and then we'll bring on the Puck Dogs, Rod and Chris, do some UFC picks, and then do some sim picks. Major League Baseball players and union and whoever had a meeting yesterday, and I guess what was talked about, what wasn't talked about, seems to be like this is going to take a while. NBA seems to be enthusiastic, and also word from Steve Emmert, who usually has some of the dumbest things to say of anybody out there, and pretty much says in this one, well, we'll talk about what he said, and everyone knows my feelings about Steve Emmert. I mean, let's get the dumbest person on the face of the earth to run the NCAA and so we can run this guy over. Let's find the guy who's really good at playing stupid, and we'll stick him in charge there. But anyways, got a lot to talk about, and try and keep these shows somewhat brief these days in the half-hour range. So, anyways, without further ado, I'll bring in Steve Monahan, and let's see, we'll bring his volume up. Steve, how's it going?
It's going well. I had myself a nice Taylor ham, egg and cheese on a hard roll here in North Jersey. A lot of people don't know that's basically pork roll, but kind of unique to New Jersey area. Outstanding.
Okay, well, you heard it there. Pork roll for
Taylor
breakfast.
for the true professional.
Taylor ham. Anyways, we have some interesting news. Three sports talking sports. Well, a lot of sports are now talking sports after the Bundesliga announced that they're going to go, and of course Chris uh, wrote up some Bundesliga games over at Pick Dogs. We have Bundesliga covered already at Sports Chat, and of course we have tonight's fights covered, as well as other things going on at Sports Chat and PickDogs.com. But first let's talk Major League Baseball. The owners are the two sides speak, and the word money never enters the conversation when this is so. Basically, this is like Steve going to get the sandwich, and the guy behind there, looking at him, and they're looking at each other, kind of saying. And then finally, someone breaks and says, "Do you want the pork roll?" And Steve's like, "Do I look like I want the pork roll? I mean,
First one
why?
to speak.
No, I'm just here to get a Pepsi. It's
Uh,
like,
hey, they talked, but to your point, you went off on them yesterday. About the major league players and being selfish about the money. It sounds like if they play, and I saw a percentage that Manfred said that 40% of the revenue is tied to the gate, from concessions and everything else, etc. So it seems like they're trying to work on a 50-50 prorated salary, I guess, for the amount of games, if that makes sense. So I would imagine negotiations would continue for another, week
six
or so.
years.
But I think they'll be playing in July. I would hope.
Well, one thing that we know about
Right?
baseball is that they love to charge the most. They love to make it as difficult as possible on themselves to make money. And I could definitely throw some ideas their way to help them along with how to make up for some of this lost money. And my guess, I'm just going to throw this out there, that the way things are, they're probably going to sell more versions of the Major League Baseball plan. And I'll tell you, I'm a subscriber, right, of Major League Baseball. I don't even know what they call it. They call it something, Major League Baseball something. I call it the package, right? The generic term. I have the package, right? And even though I have 5 home teams, they're not included in my package. The thing is that you know they're still charging me for the package right now. DirecTV, they don't let you pay it all at once. They make you pay it in installments, and they're charging me every month for this package, for the Major League Baseball package. My guess is sales are going to be pretty good. We could probably do one-off pay-per-view games, in local markets where it is your home team. Like for me, somehow the Seattle Mariners are my home team. The Arizona Diamondbacks are my home team. The Oakland A's are my home team. The San Francisco Giants are my home team. The Los Angeles Giants, Los Angeles Dodgers, and the San Diego Padres are all my home teams that I don't have access through the package to get to. I don't know. Steve, you're closer to the Dodgers where you live than I am. That's how stupid these people are. Okay, you're closer to the San Francisco Giants geographically than I am. You're way closer to the Boston Red Sox, right? Than I am. You're way closer to the Boston Red Sox, the Philadelphia Phillies, the Yankees, and the Mets than I am to any of the teams that are considered my local team. And I mean, you're probably those 4 combined times 5 is what the distance is between me and my local team. So this is a sport that clearly doesn't get it. Meanwhile, I get the Laker games no problem, right? It's like, I don't know. I don't get it. But
but they're gonna have to take a look at that. That's for sure because the only way to make the money is definitely through the TV revenue.
Like
There's
I
no
haven't
question.
like I haven't personally discussed this with Commissioner Manfred's office. I mean, you guys know me better than that. I have Google. I get these guys' number.
But all the nonsense they got to, they want to play. It's May what 13th or whatever it is today. Again, less than 2 months. They should start the season. I'm sure they'll be in spring training by next month at some point. And
Now
it's just going to be
the
short
NBA
season.
the NBA
Joking.
is gaining momentum, and we knew this was going to happen.
They are.
You know, the one thing about the NBA players, and I'm not saying all the NBA players, but the bulk of them. I got mic problems. I'll have my new mic in just a couple of days. You won't see it in the thing. This mic is so big that the boom arm that I have can't even support it. This thing weighs like 10 pounds. But that's why it sounds so good. It's got a lot of workings. But the NBA, outside of like a few players now, and LeBron is one of those guys, right? We're going to put him in that category. We're not going to say that he's not a great player. We're not going to say those things. We'll just say that, the guys that I know, the guys, my NBA, these guys never took a day off. They never. You would have to pry them off the court. To Allen Iverson, when it came time for a game, there's no way you were going to tell him that it's going to be load management day. There's no way that was going to happen.
True.
But I could see the NBA players, coming back and playing all the way through. They're finishing their season and doing the playoffs. They're talking about more of an abbreviated thing, but they're also talking about the city plan, kind of the Mitch plan that I sent them. They're kind of going to that sort of, we're going to play everything in one city and have this basic, almost like,
Be like an Olympic Village.
Right, kind of like an Olympic Village. And the nice thing about that is that we will have games throughout the day and night. It's going to be – I love the scenario, and this could be one of the good things that comes out of this. Daytime could daytime weekday NBA basketball be in the future? That's another thing. So golf getting ready to go. Golf we put in the same category as tennis. These are sports that don't have fans that are allowed to say anything anyway. So it really is going to be very, 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 very much the same. Shh. I mean, the word golf clap is not like just a word that people came up with. It is a
Exactly.
Noonan. Anyways.
That's a special clap, that's for sure.
Miss it.
But
Anyways,
NBA, Major League Baseball should be a
now
couple months away.
the gem of them all, Steve Emmert, of course, with the words of wisdom. This guy, I mean, it's like the NCAA, at least if you're gonna like, we all know Goodell is an owner's guy, right? He's paid by the owners, and he's an owner's guy, and he always will be. And
Yeah,
none of the players are ever going to say, "Oh yeah, he's in our
there's
best
there's
interest."
no pretension about that.
No,
That's
there's not.
that's
There's
just
nothing about it. But Steve Emmert is like, they've taken this to a whole new level. This is like when they made. Kind of like when they made Bud Selig the commissioner. And they just said, you know what? We're not even going to pretend that we have like some guy. We're just going to take one of our own. We're going to take an actual owner and make him the commissioner. And this is the way it's going to go. But Steve Emmert is more like he's the patsy. It's like, Steve, you got mustard on your shirt, right? I mean, this is the guy, right? I mean, this is the guy. Like, he comes in, he's got the mustard spot to the tie. You're talking to him. He's blotting it. Right? I mean, the jerk store called, this is the guy, right? This is the guy. It's like, so I'm not going to stand.
The guys are on the side all like this. So what is he going to say now?
Yeah, it's like, I'm not.
Stick to the line. Stick to the line.
I'm not going to stand in the way of anyone. It's like, I'm not going to stand in the way of anyone who wants to play. But I'm not going to force anyone.
No questions.
But I'm not going to force anyone that wants to play. So basically, you're not going to do nothing. I'm going to do nothing. Yeah. Is there any more relish? You guys got any more? It's like, that's basically what we have here. But
can we get Mr. Everett some relish, please?
So basically what he's saying is that what's going to happen here. So what he's saying is if the SEC wants to play and actually form their own version of college sports, then he's gonna sit by and idly watch.
Right.
So that's pretty much what it is. But anyways, we should have some more news. I know that Los Angeles County has extended their stay-at-home order, and that's not going to help. But the rest of us, I know everyone else is lightening up except for these guys. But anyways, Steve will have you back in just a moment. Bring in the Puck Dogs. We're going to talk about tonight's fight, the UFC second. This is actually the third card with no fans, but it's their second card in just a few days. And these guys, they seem to have it right. But anyways, let me bring in the Puck Dogs. Bring in Chris Ruffalo, Rod Zawacki. Let's see, Rod, me. What's going on here? Oh, I'm hitting the wrong button. So, there we go. I did it. Anyways, good morning, guys. How's it going in Canada?
Doing well. Our golf courses are going to open at the end of this week or starting next week, so there's signs of improvement, it looks like.
So, what they're saying is that so if there is hockey again, there's not going to be any fighting. Just full face masks, no fighting. So instead of that fighting, we'll have the UFC fighting with no, all this. Maybe they should have it at the intermissions, like have a fight in between periods.
Have the two guys drop the gloves and point at someone on the TV who they think is going to win the fight.
Yeah, it's like they could have it. Let the Zamboni take quick, and then just do a quick 3-rounder.
Fight.
Yeah, But anyways, we have UFC tonight. We have 6 fights on this card, and we were talking about it before the show. I don't know much about UFC, but it just seems that they have fights that are pure pay-per-view cards, and then ones like this, which is UFC Fight Night. So, Chris, you want to tell us the difference between the UFC Fight Night and the UFC 249 like we had the other night?
Well, the UFC 249 is obviously the pay-per-view fight, but these
it's not obvious to me because I never watch this stuff.
No. But okay, fair. But the fight are the free televised fights.
But this is on ESPN Plus, so you can get ESPN Plus. We have links at Sports Chat Place and Pick Dogs. You can sign up for ESPN Plus. and you can watch this as included in your ESPN Plus subscription. It's not going to be on the regular ESPN, I believe.
But the fight nights you're still going to get some quality fights on these fight night cards. Just a lot of them are more for, let's say, ranking purposes. Like you'll find like for example, our main event tonight is probably going to help determine some big movement in the light heavyweight rankings. So you still get some quality fights on these ones, I find.
Okay, so there's a difference. So the fight night means that it's free, even though ESPN Plus isn't truly free. It's like $3 a month or something. Meanwhile, the other cards are the $50 plus pay-per-view.
Yeah.
I don't know how much they're getting for them these days, or get a link, watch it on the internet, do whatever you have to do to watch it. I don't really care, but so Smith versus Teixeira is the main event. And then we have some other good fights there. I wouldn't even consider myself a casual UFC fan, but I'm someone that does know some UFC. And I do see some names I see in there that I know. Andre Arlovski. Yeah, he's in the opening fight right tonight. So, I know I've heard of him, and Ben Rothwell, right? I've heard of. So,
Yeah.
what do you like tonight? Chris, you want to get us started with a couple?
Yeah, I've got 3. I know Rod and I were talking off camera. He's got a lot more that he likes tonight.
All right, then, Rod, you start us then.
Okay. I'll start off. I think it's let me see. It's a prelim fight. I'm just trying to see if I'm going in order here.
It doesn't matter. Just let's go.
Oh, I was just trying to get. We got Team A versus Team B.
It's okay.
I was trying to get the other guy's name.
I got a list of the fights here. If you want me to just go down them, we can do that. Doesn't matter. We got Smith Teixeira, Rothwell, St. Pro, Hernandez Dauber, Simon Borg, Robertson, Vettori, and then the Orlazov one that we talked about.
Then you have all these prelim fights before.
Oh, really? There's more than those 6?
Yeah, they have a preliminary card here as well.
Oh,
they have a preliminary card as well.
Wow.
So there's more than that.
Well, we didn't cover those at Sports Shop Place or Pick Dogs. Is there no odds on these fights or what?
Yeah, there's odds on these fights.
All right, then I guess I got some emails to send after the show. Anyways, let's go.
Anyways, okay, we'll get back to here we go, back to the pick. First pick, we got Chase Sherman versus Ike Villanueva.
Villanueva?
Villanueva. Either way, Sherman's going to kick this guy's butt.
All right. What are the odds on Sherman here?
Give me Sherman, money line, minus 165.
What are the odds? Minus 165 on the Shermanator?
Yep.
Chris likes the American Pie reference there. The Shermanator.
I like Michael Johnson here versus Thiago Moises is his name, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu guy. I think Michael Johnson knocks this guy out. Thiago Moises is very underrated. He's got the potential there to actually be a good fighter, but for some reason he just, I don't know. I think Johnson comes in here and he's prepared and he's gonna beat him up really bad. So give me Michael Johnson. I'll take him money line and I'll take him by KO.
Chris, what are you looking at?
I'm looking at probably the main event on the preliminary card. Philip Lins, I'm going to take him to beat Andre Arlovski. I just think Arlovski's done. He's lost 9 of his last 12 fights. His last fight, he got rung up in 29 seconds by Jairzinho, the same Jairzinho that got knocked out by Francis Ngannou in 20 seconds at this past UFC card. Ngannou also beat Arlovski, so I don't know what that says more about Ngannou than anybody. But either way, Lins is unknown. It's his first fight in the UFC, but he's 14-3. I think he's got some knockout power. I think it's a nice time to fade Arlovsky. I think he's done. So I'll take Linz inside the distance, inside the 3 rounds at plus 120, and to win by knockout or TKO at plus 125.
Rod, what else you
And
got?
I'm going the other way on that fight. I think Lynn's is highly overrated. This is his first fight, yes, and I think a whole pile of money is going to come in on Lynn's because he won a PDF tournament and won $1 million. So he's won $1 million. He's happy and content. Is he all excited to roll out of bed to fight Andre Arlovsky? Probably not. Everybody thinks that Arlovsky's chin is suspect. Um, he's got knocked out by two guys, or maybe three that you can say that really knocked him out. The guy that you said that lost in 29 seconds, and the guy that beat him up, that beat the guy in 29 seconds, are the only two guys that knocked his butt out. Everybody else, he stood there. Andre Arlovsky has got a better chin than people think. Lynn's has a suspect chin. He got rocked in that PDF tournament, like rocked by a dude early in the beginning. I think a whole pile of money is going to come
I
in
don't
on Lynn's, and
understand
I'm
this
going to take.
question. I don't. It's like I don't understand that question. Anyways,
So I'm going to take Arlovsky here, money line. I think he upsets Lynn's here.
okay.
But
What?
I'm going to wait. Take it closer to fight time because a lot of Lynn money is going to come in, and Arlovsky will get. You could probably get him closer to plus 200. I think near fight time.
The Lynn money without the crepe money. Anyways,
No,
how many more you got, Rod?
couple more,
All
four
right.
more,
How many more?
four.
Four. Chris, give us one of yours.
My last two, I got
Just give
Ovin
us
St.
one.
Preux over. Yeah,
So,
no, I'm saying I got Ovin St. Preux over Ben Rothwell. Uh, Ben Rothwell's the heavyweight here, but it's OSP's debut at heavyweight, so he's probably going to be a bit undersized. But both have an 80-inch reach. I think the lack of size is going to give St. Preux a little bit more speed here, and I just think Ben Rothwell, he's starting to slow down a little bit. He hasn't looked good in his comeback two or his last three fights. I think OSP gets him here, so I think I'm going to take OSP inside the distance at plus 150. Put a little bit on a win by KO or TKO plus 325, or even submission at plus 375.
okay, Rod, what else we got? I think he's frozen. Chris, you want to give us another one?
Yeah, my last one, I like Anthony Smith over Teixeira in the main event. They're both solid strikers, and Teixeira has a better percentage defending. The problem is Teixeira's getting up there in age. He's 40 years
No,
old, and while that might mean more experience, I'm not backing a guy at age 40 against a fighter like Smith, who's had more professional MMA fights, and he's in his prime right now. He's only 31. Smith went the distance against John Jones, had a solid performance against
But
Alexander Gustafsson.
John Jones isn't really a knockout artist, right? He's not really like a finisher or anything.
No, fair.
He's a guy who gets the controversial decisions, right? And then smokes a little dope afterwards to celebrate. Is that how that works? Something like that.
Maybe, but Anthony Smith was a huge dog going into that fight. I thought he held his own against John Jones, and he made Rashad Evans and Mauricio Rua look like child's play when he fought him a couple of years ago. So those are two of the guys that ever do it, the best guys to ever do it in that weight class. So I'll take Smith to win inside the distance at minus 125, and to win by KO or TKO at plus 105.
So, anyways, Rod, you kind of cut out there. If you want to just give us quick hitters on your last few picks here.
last blue picks. Okay, I'm with Chris. I'm taking Anthony Smith KO plus 100. I think he knocks out Teixeira here. Dog, I'm going to go with. I'm going to go back our Canadian woman fighter. Morass here. She's fighting Eubanks. Eubanks, if she doesn't beat Morass within the first, I'm going to say 7 minutes, 8 minutes, Eubanks really starts to gas, and so I think our Canadian woman Morass can hang in there, and I think she can squeak out a win in the last few rounds. Because Eubanks just gasses. She always gasses. 7, 8 minutes in, boom, she just starts gassing and looking like death warmed over. So I'm going to take a shot with Morass plus 280 money line to beat Eubanks. And then we'll just give just my last pick. These ones I put into a bird cage. So my UFC bird cage will be Sherman money line, Morales money line, and OSP money line.
Okay.
Yeah, I got a bird cage as well. All to win inside the distance. The 3 picks I gave: Anthony Smith.
I haven't got to do
Ovince
the
St.
bird
Preux.
cage in a while. I'm a little out of practice here.
Anthony Smith, OSP, and Philip Linz, all to win inside the distance. Pays you about 9-1.
There you go. All right, we're going to bring Steve Monahan in. We're going to do our sim pick section of the show. Everyone knows how excited I get about this one. So, let's see. Yesterday, who won yesterday?
I put it down in my notes here. Give me one sec. So yesterday, Carolina covered. Tampa Bay beat Atlanta outright. The Giants covered against Philly, and Washington beat Dallas outright as a 13-point dog.
All right, so I was 2-2. I had Washington and Panthers.
I had Washington and the Giants.
Yeah, I think we were all 2-2.
Yeah,
Yeah,
happens.
2-2.
So
Yep.
let's roll with today's picks.
All right, 12 Eastern. Buffalo Bills minus 6.5 against Miami Dolphins.
Dolphins
I like the
for
Dolphins.
me.
Take the Bills.
I'll take the Bills.
3 Eastern. Patriots versus the Jets at home. Patriots minus 9.5.
Patriots.
Patriot, yeah, Pats.
I like the Jets.
I'll take the Jets.
7 Eastern. Steelers minus 10 at home against Cincinnati. I like the Steelers.
I'll
Bengals
take
have
the
been terrible.
I'll take the Steelers.
I'll go
I'll take the
Steelers.
Bengals. I'm going to go the opposite. Give me the Bengals plus 10.
And 10 Eastern, Ravens minus 8.5 home against Cleveland.
I'll take the Ravens.
Give me Cleveland and home.
I'll go Cleveland.
I'll take Ravens.
I'm going with the Ravens.
All right. Well, that wraps up another exciting show here.
2 more picks.
Oh.
Here we go. I got 2 more picks. It's the rare hockey sim picks that come around that I'm on fire with. So they only come like twice a week, maybe 3 times a week if you're lucky. So I'll fire
bet them big, bet them early.
Detroit at the Panthers at 2 p.m. East at 4 p.m. Eastern time. Give me the Panthers on the puck line minus 1.5, minus 110. This is still the same Detroit team that we saw this year. Yuck. And the other one is they've got the Ottawa Senators at the Los Angeles Kings. I'm gonna take Ottawa. Give me Ottawa money line over the Kings.
Okay. There you have it.
Those are
Did Ottawa and the Kings and Panthers. Pretty exciting there with sim picks. Can't wait till there's real sports to talk about. Hopefully,
Yeah, me too.
hopefully soon enough, and hopefully we're talking about the restart, and maybe baseball will surprise us. You know, maybe they'll surprise us and get through this. But I have little faith in those guys. Anyways, thanks guys for joining us. Thanks everyone. It's been a really fun day. We'll see everyone tomorrow, same bat time, same bat channel. And I just wanted to say also, before we leave the air, actually, I just want to say, our condolences to the family of Larandy Chast. He's a guy who was in our Facebook group. I don't know him personally. I don't know too much what he stands for or anything like that, but I think what he was definitely somebody that we knew in our Facebook group, and somebody that when I went back out on my own after, the whole legal battle and everything with Sports Chat, when I went back and restarted with Pick Dogs, there were a few people that went into my Facebook group and kind of invited all of their friends, to say, hey, Mitch is getting started up again. Let's rally around him and get this started. I know Rod was one of those people who has a million Facebook friends, and he invited them all into our group. And Randy was another one that did that. So I just, condolences to him and his family. I don't know what happened. I know he was a young guy. So, definitely a tragedy and, another one gone too soon. But I would feel I don't think it would be right if I didn't at least mention it and say something, with my experience with him and, nothing but positive. I know he was a regular watching the show as well. So rest in peace. Thanks, everyone, for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow. Yeah,